Hi, hope everyone's still with me. We'll just pick up right where we stopped. Sorry about that. Our internet just, once again, problems, but let's just, thank you so much for not logging off during those moments. So I don't know where it stopped. My internet fell off, but we were doing this twist. We're gently unwinding. We're gonna reach up again to the ceiling, interlock those fingers, press those palms up to the ceiling. Big breath. And then we're gonna drop that left hand, grab that left elbow, lengthen for all the way from that left hip, all the way up to that left elbow. And go ahead and release. We're gonna bring that left hand down behind us, right hand to that left knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, take that gaze towards the back of the room. Inhale, up through the crown of the head. Exhale, twist. Pull that navel in. Taking that gaze a little further towards the back of the room. We're inhaling, making space in between those vertebrae, lengthening up from that foundation. And gently release, slowly unwind. From here, we're gonna bring those balls of the feet, soles of the feet together. Rounds down, we'll grab those feet. Just give your little arches a massage here. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, just come forward. Nose down towards the feet, towards the floor in front of you. Press those knees away from the body. And inhale up. From here, we're going to bring our knees, our feet kind of wide. Hands behind us. We're just going to window wash those knees, those legs a few times. And then let them fall to whichever side. The key is to keep those knees wide so the legs can kind of have their space. And just release. That should feel like a nice stretch in the hips and the legs. Nice deep, even breaths. And then go ahead and inhale up those knees. Just drop them to the other side. And then once you're there, taking that awareness to that breath once again. Breathe into the belly. And then bring those knees up into cross those legs and move through that position into a tabletop. Wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. And knees hip width apart, spread out those fingers. And once we're here, just gonna kind of move those hips from side to side. Release any tension. Come back to center, flip that right hand over just for a breath or two. Stretch out that wrist. Maybe just putting just a tiny bit of weight on it. And then flip that back over. And then we'll do the other hands. And back to center. From here, inhale, push that belly down, open up that heart. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin, push the middle of the back up to the ceiling. Inhale, back to cow. Exhale, the cat. And a few more rounds at your own pace. Inhaling into that cow, pushing that belly down. And then on the exhalation, tucking that tailbone and tucking the chin. Back to neutral position. Inhale. Exhale, look over that right shoulder towards that right hip. That nice opening in that left hip. Inhale to center and then exhale to the other side. From that opening all the way through here. Back to center. I'm going to press back through those, tuck those right toes, press back to that right heel. Gently start to open up through that calf muscle. We're going to lift up to the hamstring. Keep those toes pointed down, lift up through the belly. Stay here at that left arm. And release down. Inhale, push that belly down, open up that heart, drop that jaw. Exhale to a cat. Inhale to a neutral position, and then we'll press to that left heel. A little bit back and forth. You take your awareness to that inner left thigh, lifting up through that hamstring, keeping those hips level. So you could stay here or always add that right arm. Pulling that navel up towards the spine. And release down, bring those knees wide. Hips on the heels will reach forward. Let that forehead sink down into the mat. Just let everything go for a few breaths. And bring it. Inhale, come back up. Let's reach up to that right elbow. Keep those knees wide and then just thread that right arm underneath that left arm. Reach forward. Let that shoulder melt down into the mat. Just a few more breaths here. And press to that left palm. Come back up, let's lift up to that left elbow and then slide that left arm underneath that right arm. Reach forward with that right arm. Let that shoulder just sink down into the mat. Any tension, stress just melts down into the mat. And bend that right arm. We're going to press up through that right palm. And we'll come into puppy. So keeping those hips above those knees, reach forward. Let that forehead sink all the way to the mat, if that's available to you, and then press to the palms. Come up on the fingertips for a deeper stretch through those shoulders. Inhale up and then we'll move through that puppy pose onto our bellies. Press down to the tops of the legs, tops of the feet. Bring those palms underneath those shoulders. Press those palms into the mat. And tighten everything and then just peel that chest up off the mat. Maybe just a little bit, maybe a little bit more. Come into that baby cobra. Just skip if it feels bad on your low back at all. And release. Bring that left cheek down to the mat. Just release the arms out to the side. Take a breath. Bend those knees and then we'll just window wash those feet from right to left. Shake out that low back. And just let those legs fall back down. Reach those arms in front of us and then work those elbows towards the shoulders. Just finding where Sphinx is comfortable for you. Want to feel no pain, no pinching in the lower back. We're pressing down through everything, through the forearms, the palms, hips, tops of the legs. Just a few easy breaths here. And release back down. Take that right cheek down to the mat and just take a couple breaths. And we'll slowly bring those hands underneath the shoulders. We're going to press through a tabletop position. Tuck those toes. Spread out those fingers and then send those hips back down, facing dog. Walk the dog. Alternate those hands on the mat. And then walk those feet towards the hands. And come up to ragdoll, grabbing some opposite elbows. Sway from side to side. Loosen through that neck. Press into all four corners of the feet. And drop those hands. Come to a forward fold, strong through the legs. You can have the bent. Inhale to a half lift to slide those hands up. Gaze forward. And then we're going to go ahead and exhale. We're just going to bring our hands down towards the floor. And then we'll step our left leg back and come into a lunge. We're lifting through that left hamstring. Keep that knee over that ankle in the front. Just stay here for a few moments and then bring that left knee down. Press to the top of that left foot. And inhale up, bring those hands to the knee. And just bring that foot forward for a deeper stretch. Pulling back through that right hip crease. And opening to the front of that left hip. And release down. Pull those hips back for runner stretch or half split. Lengthening through the spine, through the top of the head, and hinging forward at the hips. Pulling those toes back towards you. Try to keep that left hip over that knee, left knee. And gently come forward, come to lizard. Heel toe that foot out towards the edge, hands on the inside of the foot. If you're really flexible, coming all the way down on those elbows. Or if you have a cushion, you can even just, or a big book, you can even come put your forearms on something like that, like you would on a yoga block. Softening through that hip flexor. And heel to that foot back to center. We're going to tuck those left toes and step that right foot back. Pick up, lift up through that left hamstring. Step that right foot back. Come into downward facing dog. Walk those hands up, feet up to the hands again. And then we'll just, from here, we'll step back that right foot. Come into a lunge for a few breaths, lifting up through the hamstring. Strong through those legs. And then let that knee come down. Press to the top of that foot. Inhale up, you bring those hands to that knee. Connect to your breath. Notice what your breath is doing. And release those hands down. We'll pull that back, those hips for a half split. Come into that runner stretch. Pull those left toes back towards you. Keeping that right hip over that right knee. Breathe into the belly. And then bring those hips forward. Heel to that foot out to the edge. Hands to the inside of the foot. Soften through that left hip flexor. And inhale. Heel to that foot back into center. And inhale up, bring those knees together, hands, thumbs to the back. Just a quick, easy, gentle heart opener to the ceiling. Inhale back up. We'll come to a seated position, swing your legs around. Hands down by your hips. You have those heels together, or maybe having a little bit apart today. And pressing down, engaging, pulling up those kneecaps. Inhale up, exhale, come forward, grab those shins, ankles, feet. Pull that navel in towards its spine. See if you can bring that nose closer to those knees. And release. Come up and roll down to our back. We'll put something down. Go ahead. We'll just take your time, just rolling down slowly. From here and pull those knees into the chest. Rock a little bit from side to side. Make those knees in a clockwise motion, counterclockwise. And drop the feet. And then we're just going to drop those knees to the right side of the body. You can cactus the arms, stick them to a T. Maybe bring those legs out to the side, finding where you can release into that twist. And then bring those knees back into center. Let's drop them to the other side. Straighten that top leg. If you want a deeper stretch, take it gaze to the opposite side. And then just release into that twist. And bring those knees back up. I'll hug those into the chest one more time. Inhale, exhale, bring the nose up to the knees. Head back down, grab the outsides of those feet. Bring those knees in towards those armpits. And rock back and forth. For happy baby, keep those soles open to the ceiling. And hug the knees, then let those legs long. Get into your Shavasana. Being comfortable, if you want to put a blanket over yourself or on socks, or put something under your head. Just finding your comfortable spot that you can release down into. Bring those ankles towards the edges of the mat. Open those palms up to the ceiling. Arrange your shoulders so that you can release, and then we're going to take a big breath. Release and gently close the eyes. Sink down to the mat. Big breath into the belly. Release. Once again, sink, melt, release. Everything down into the mat. And start to follow your breath. And watch the ebb and flow of the breath as it enters and exits your body. Just start to feel your body soften, release. Gonna let those muscles around the eyes soften. Tongue is loose in your mouth, cheeks release, jaw softens. And soften down through your neck to your shoulders. Let all the muscles in the shoulders melt down into the pose, into the mat. And down your arms, your triceps, biceps, forearms, hands, fingers. Arms release, soften, widen. All the muscles in your back, hips melt down into the mat. Glutes, hamstrings, quads, calf muscles, all widen, soften, let go. All the muscles in your feet release. Every body part just softens and surrenders into the pose. Let's continue to follow the breath. Breathe in relaxation. Releasing on the exhalation. With every breath, just releasing a little bit more, softening a little bit more down into the mat. And slowly start to bring your awareness back to your body. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Rock your head from side to side. Take a big breath and then bend those knees. Roll over onto the right side of your body. Just one more breath here. Then we'll press up into a seated position. And bring your hands to heart center. Namaste. Thank you for joining me this morning. Sorry about the small glitch in class, and hope you don't get hit by the storm too badly today, and hopefully see everybody on Friday.